Over the course of the past year, COVID-19 has impacted all of our daily lives, and for some, ended their lives. For Highland basketball coach Deryl Cunningham, it gave him the fight of his life, but he refused to check out, and his community refused to let him fight alone. In our Odd Couples Housing Spotlight feature, Corey Miller takes us across the river.
I felt like we believed that we can win. You have to believe that we can win.
Daryl Cunningham's basketball journey may have eventually led him to Highland High School, but back in the day, you should have seen him in action.
Deryl Cunningham.
This Chicago prep phenom was a McDonald's All-American and one-time teammate of Shaquille O'Neal.
I just tell the kids the only difference between me and Shaq is he went on to make $100 million and I didn't.
Cunningham starred in college too at DePaul and Kansas State before taking his talents all over the world, playing the game he loved. Eventually his love became coaching, and he settled with his wife and 2 kids in Highland, Illinois. His Bulldog players know him as coach on the court, but he's a man of many talents.
I grew up in DJing. My dad was known as the music man in Chicago. They don't really know like I can really DJ.
But last fall when he tested positive for COVID-19, music and basketball were replaced with one focus: staying alive.
And like the next day, they were like, "You're positive," but by that night we knew something was seriously, we knew something was wrong.
Daryl has had kidney issues in the past, and with the arrival of COVID, it wreaked havoc on those fragile kidneys. He ended up in the hospital with a catheter in his chest.
And the doctor said, "Ma'am, had we put it in his arm, he would not have made it. We had to do his chest to keep him alive." My brother had 4 times, if not 5 times, that amount of waste built up in his body that was just sitting there because his kidneys were not functioning to move that waste out of him.
While doctors worked to save his life, Daryl tried to prepare his sister for the worst. She wasn't having it.
So I was like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it, but I'll never forget it. She came up to the bed and she grabbed my hand and she said, "Daryl, you fight." She said it twice. She said, "Daryl, you fight." And then she looked at me and she said, "You do not get to check out on me."
You don't get to check out on me. I said, it's always been the 2 of us. It will forever be the 2 of us. You don't get the option to check out on me. I said, you don't get to leave your family. You don't get to leave your wife and your children.
And he didn't. Daryl and his doctors got his kidneys under control to where he could do dialysis. In 6 days, he was out of the hospital.
And while he was fighting his own battle, Coach Cunningham's adopted town of Highland never let him forget that they had his back.
If something happens in Highland, Highland is going to step up and take care of their people. They always do.
There were personal cards and messages from Highland and around the world. There were loads and loads of food for the family. And there was nearly $40,000 raised to help with medical costs.
He came in and saved our program when no one else was going to step in, and we're there for him and his family. And any little thing he needs, we've got him.
Maybe the world is divided, but what I was seeing through my own situation is that there are some people that care about you as a human being. It's been overwhelmingly it really humbles you.
Now, Coach is already back on the sideline and his team is back on the court as Illinois high schools return to play during the pandemic. He's still doing dialysis and is working towards an eventual kidney transplant, but these days Coach Cunningham is loving the little things. The little things he quite nearly lost.
Every day that I come home, I try to say hello to my kids. I try to say hello to my wife. I just don't take it for granted. When I'm out here coaching today, I tell our kids that, hey, we haven't got the chance to play basketball for how long? But don't take life for granted, because if it's anything I've learned in life, it can be gone in an instant. Just that fast.
For Sports Plus in Highland, Corey Miller, 5 on Your Side Sports.